Pastor Caleb Mercer parked beside the old church just as the sun disappeared behind the Mississippi trees. Rain tapped softly against the stained glass windows as he unlocked the side door and stepped into the dark sanctuary. Tonight's youth sermon was titled, "You Do Not Have to Be Afraid." He smiled nervously to himself. Funny enough, fear had followed him his entire life. The church was silent except for the hum of the old air conditioner and the creaking of the wooden beams above him. Caleb walked slowly to the altar, set his Bible down, and knelt to pray. "Lord, help me speak truth tonight. Help these kids know you're with them." The sanctuary felt unusually cold. Caleb paused, then he heard it. A slow movement behind him. He turned quickly. Nothing. Just empty pews disappearing into darkness. He swallowed hard and continued praying. But then, out of the corner of his eye, something moved near the back row. A tall black figure. Too tall, standing perfectly still. Caleb's heart slammed against his chest. The figure had no face, no eyes, just darkness, a living shadow. Fear exploded through his body. He jumped to his feet and ran. The church doors burst open as he stumbled outside, into the rain, gasping for air. His hands shook violently. What was that? He paced beside his truck, terrified. Every instinct told him, leave, go home, don't go back in there. But then he remembered the message he was supposed to preach to the youth group in less than 2 hours. You do not have to be afraid. Caleb looked back at the church. If he ran now, how could he stand in front of those teenagers and tell them to trust God? Tears mixed with rain on his face. I can't let fear own me. Slowly, he walked back toward the church. Every step felt heavier. The sanctuary was darker now. Caleb returned to the front pew and sat down, trembling. His knees shook so badly he could barely breathe. Then, the temperature dropped again. The figure appeared. Closer this time, standing directly in the center aisle, watching him. Caleb wanted to scream, wanted to run, but he stayed seated. His entire body trembled as the figure slowly moved closer, until it stood directly in front of him, only inches away. A deep whisper crawled through the sanctuary. You're alone. Caleb shut his eyes tightly. No. You're weak. No. God abandoned you. Caleb began praying through tears. Jesus, please help me. The darkness did not leave. The fear did not disappear. In fact, it grew stronger. His heart pounded so hard, he thought he might die. But through the terror, Caleb kept praying. I trust you even while I'm afraid. The figure leaned closer. The sanctuary lights flickered violently. You should run. Caleb opened his shaking hands and whispered, No, I belong to Christ. For several long seconds, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the sanctuary became completely silent. The fear that had gripped his chest loosened. Not all at once, slowly, like chains falling to the floor. Caleb opened his eyes. The figure was still standing there, but now it looked smaller, weaker. And for the first time, Caleb realized something horrifying. The shadow had power over him only while he ran from it. Tears streamed down his face as he stood to his feet. His voice shook, but he spoke anyway. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The figure began trembling violently. Caleb took another step forward. I am not alone. The dark shape suddenly let out a horrific scream that echoed through the sanctuary and vanished. The church became still, warm, peaceful. Caleb collapsed into the front pew crying, not because he wasn't afraid anymore, but because he finally understood courage. Courage was not the absence of fear. Courage was trusting God while fear screamed in your face. That night, when the youth group arrived, Pastor Caleb stood before them with red eyes and trembling hands. and he preached the most powerful sermon of his life, because now he knew the message was true.